Hey, Shalom, Akim. Your brother Raz Allah from GMS London Camp. Back once again. First and foremost, want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone, blessings to the hopeful, sincere elect. I've got some more info in regarding to this Sam Haynes Salem witchcraft ceremony of high unholy day of Halloween that these idiots out here celebrating right now, partaking in straight up witchcraft, the highest orders of witchcraft and ritual sacrifices on the left hand side, which is an abomination in the sight of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And I just did a video upload on the shooting that happened over there in Tampa, Florida, regarding some niggas at some party that they went to and celebrating some damn Halloween, so death came creeping at their door. And this is some more information here that I got from Elder Rakaya Kwam from GMS London Camp. They put up on the post earlier with regards to the ritual sacrifices and the things that they indulge in, going back to the Druids during the Middle Ages or the Dark Ages, with the Celtics or the Celtics, and the Druids of the Dark Ages, even going back as far as like 60 AD, because I watched a film recently called was it Boudica, if I'm saying it properly, and that's basically based upon the Celtics or the Druids back then, around 60 AD, the time of Nero. The Roman Caesar Nero was ruling at that time, and he was basically, when the Romans was besieging or came over to Great Britain to take over the different lands, and you had the Celtics, the Druids, which the majority of them were the seed of Japheth at that time, before Jake came into rulership, and they were celebrating, these type of ritual sacrifices and in warring with the Romans, in which they, won quite a few of the wars that they had with the Romans until they was taken out eventually, because that was the time of the Roman Empire for them to thrive on the earth at that time. But the Celtic ritualistic Samhain and witchcraft worship goes back centuries, man. So this is nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun. But this has been revived throughout the ages, and it's been pushed upon the masses more and more to overindulge in these satanic worshipings, man. And even before that, go back to the Hamites that was in the Lord's land. They was doing things like this. They just had a different name. It says it's dead scary. Samhain is a pagan origin of Halloween. And its terrifying rituals include human sacrifices and pumpkins filled with burning human fat. So these idiots out here got pumpkins in their houses and all that, cutting them and carving them out. They don't understand what the people was actually doing back in the day with those different symbols and artifacts, so to speak. Because Halloween is more than makeup tutorials and dressing up your dog in pumpkin. It's a night of vile veil between the worlds. Yeah, messing with the spiritual realm, man, on the left-hand side. Opening up portals, man, to Satan and them demons, This is between the world of the living and the dead, raises up the spirits of our ancestors walking among us, which is all ritualistic and satanic. This modern-day Halloween might have been reduced a little more than scary makeup tutorials and YouTube, but the rewind a few thousand years and you'd be planning your human sacrifice, not your outfit. And that's what it really goes back to, about human sacrifices, especially sacrificing the children, And Jake was partaking in that wickedness going back thousands of years, and even the Hamites before that, they was definitely partaking in that, which I'm going to read in the Book of Wisdom of Solomon. And that's why we got exterminated out of that land. When the Lord gave us the land, we had to go through and destroy all the Hamites that was in that land, at that time, except for that Jake that decided to hide the Babylonian garment, and bring death to, bring bad luck to basically to the camp. And he ended up getting killed, him and his whole family, because he disobeyed a strict order from the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, to destroy all those Hamites and everything that they owned, and leave nothing to for the taking, basically. It says that the Druids had many ways of sacrificing humans, one of which was packing them in giant burning effigies of man. And you got the Wicker Man, that story of the Wicker Man, which is a famous film, when they show you that, sacrificing of peoples and all that. They had another demonic movie called Summer's Day. same similar type of ritualistic sacrifices, like the Wicker Man, and they show you how people get together to celebrate creation, so to speak, nature, and they do all these sick ritual sacrifices, man, in the name of Satan, and it's straight up wickedness, man. The Lord's gonna do away with all this shit anyway in these last days, because this is none of this is going into the kingdom of heaven, man. It says its roots are firmly in the old pagan holiday of Samhain, which, along with May 1st, Beltane, was regarded as one of the most important days of the year, one of the most satanic days of the year. And that's why people love Halloween, man, because it's highly demonic, It incorporates enchanting spirits and manifesting and conjuring up spirits and demons. And Esau loves that shit because he wants to spill that blood for that new world order sacrifice, so to speak. So this place is just outright wicked, man. This is why the Lord's going to do away with this place very soon. I jump down. It says, according to the old documents, his most primitive guise, Samhain would have featured many sacrifices to the Celtic dogs, or gods of death. It said, with both animals and humans throw in their huge fire pits and as offerings. So it's that sick shit, man. This is what it all goes back to. It says a revival in Romans in 555 BC. That signaled the start of the end of the Druids culture in the UK. And the movie I watched, there was that was like around 60 AD. It was based upon 60 AD with the time of Nero when he was in Caesar at that time in Rome. So this has been going on for thousands of years, man. So this has been going on for too damn long. So now the Lord's going to bring that judgment upon all these damn heathens, and 2/3 that are partaking these Druid sacrifice works of the devil, man. So anyway, I'm gonna leave this they got a Ouija board and shit. That's don't even want to mess with that. You open up all kind of spirits fucking with that Ouija board, man. You got let me jump to the scriptures. And as I said, we'll leave it in the description box. If you brothers want to read the article, it says Deuteronomy 18 and 10. It says, there shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch. So the Lord strictly forbade this against Israel, especially in the land. But Jake, over time, distanced himself and started breaking the law, statutes, and judgments, and doing these wicked, odious works, and worshipping, baking cakes to fucking Ceramicists and Tammuz and all that, like they was doing in the groves. And the Lord got fed up of Jacob, and that's why he expelled us out of that land to this day. Because we broke the law, statutes, and judgments, man. And we was following these dumb idols of the other nations. It says, verse 11, it says, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, like the witcher Endor, which King Saul at the time, he consulted with that witch to conjure up the spirit of Samuel, and even Samuel was pissed off. He said, why are you disquieting me from my sleep? Because you're not supposed to be conjuring up spirits from the left hand side or messing with necromancy and all of that. That's straight up wickedness, man. The law strictly forbade it. It says, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord. Yeah, it's filth. It's wickedness in the sight of the Lord. Filthy abomination, man. It says, because of these abominations, the Lord thy power doth drive them out from before thee. See, that's why we're not supposed to partake in it. And this law is supposed to be our our wisdom and knowledge in the sight of the nations, man. To distinguish us. That's how we're supposed to be better in the sight of the nations and from the judgments and statutes that the Lord gave us through Moses. This is supposed to distinguish us from the other nations, but Jake, they let those folly demons set in after a while, and then they start going off. Throughout the scriptures in the book of Judges goes into that, how Jake will go off and then they'll repent, and then they'll do the same shit all over again, and the Lord have to send different saviors to get them out of their captivities and all that, to deliver them. And then the Lord got fed up, and that's why the Lord ultimately he took the names from us. He took our names. He took away his name, and we discontinued from our heritage for a short time. until the Lord had mercy and gave us His name back and gave us our inheritance, our heritage back, and knowing who we are as Israelites, man. The Lord was pissed off for us for a long time because we was partaking in all this wickedness, Samhain and all that madness, whatever other name they had for it back then. So Psalms 96 and 4, it says, "For the Lord is great and greatly to be praised, and He is to be feared above all gods." Yeah, because He's the only one that exists. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, there's none other than the Lord Himself, and that we're supposed to follow and fear and revere. It says, "For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heavens." Yeah. So we're supposed to fear Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai and Him only. This is Micah 5 and 10. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that I will cut off thy horses out of the midst of thee, and will destroy thy chariots. And I will cut off the cities and the land, and throw down all thy strongholds. And I will cut off witchcrafts out of thine hand, and thou shalt no more and thou shalt have no more soothsayers. And thy graven images also will I cut off, and standing images out of the midst of thee, and thou shalt no more worship the work of thine hands." The Lord going to destroy all this on this side by way of the nuclear missiles. You're going to destroy all this wickedness that Jake is partaking in, man. This lascivious behavior. It says, "And I will pluck up thy groves," which the groves are talking about them harlot houses people call churches, man, that Jake still run up in every damn Sunday. The Lord said He's going to pluck up the groves. He's going to destroy them. "Out of the midst of thee, so I will destroy thy cities. And I will execute vengeance and anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not known and not heard." Yeah, and 2/3 they're part of that as well, because they're running around like a bunch of heathens right now. Let me just read quickly Wisdom of Solomon, the 12th chapter, in regards to the satanic ritual worship that these Hamites was doing, and that's what Jake started to follow and do. Even these Celtics, the Japhite son of Japheth and all that was doing as well. Going back to BC and AD, It says Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 1. It says, "For thine incorruptible spirit is in all that." So look here, "For thine incorruptible spirit is in all things. Therefore chastise thou them by little and little that offend, and warnest them by putting them in the remembrance wherein they have offended." It says, but that leaving their wickedness they may believe on thee, O Lord." Yeah, and that's why the Lord gave us law, statutes, and judgments, man. And, Jake, and these heathens, they definitely weren't following the law, statutes, and judgments, because the Lord ain't dealing with the heathen. But Jake, the Lord was, teaching us the way, so to speak. We still went off, because the law's perfect. It's us that went away and strayed from the Lord. That's why the Lord had to make a second covenant. So verse 3, it says, "For it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land." Now, who was in the holy land before we got there? The land of Canaan, the Canaanites, the sons of Ham. It says, "Whom thou hatest for doing the most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices." Yeah. It says, "And also those merciless murders of children and devourers of men's flesh, cannibalism, and feasts of blood, drinking blood, cauldrons of blood, murdering children and making them pass through the fire unto Molech, the wicker man and all these different things." Samhain, that's the same shit that these damn Hamites was doing in the land before we kicked them out of it. And then Jacob over time, started doing the same things that the Hamites was doing. So the Lord had to do away with us in the land as well, for our incredulity and insubordinateness, man. It says, "With their priests out of the midst of the idolatrous crew, and the parents that killed with their own hands souls destitute of help." It says that the land which thou esteemest above all other might receive a word cunningly of God's children, which is the children of Israel, starting with the elect. And that's the land that the Lord's pleasantly pleased with, esteems above all other, is the land of Israel, which is a bunch of heathens are fighting over right now between the Palestinians and the Israelis. But none of them belong in that land. They're going to get kicked out of that land, just like the Hamites got kicked out of that land, but this time they're going to be kicked out by way of fire, nuclear fire. So this is the judgment of the Lord upon the wicked that partake upon these things, because it's an abomination in the sight of the Lord, man. So, this is just more evidence, more, on this wicked damn festivities, the Druid festivities that these people are partaking of. And this is why death is creeping up people's door right now and people are getting judged, you know. And more judgments on its way. So anyway, just wanted to do a quick update on that. Give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rekakodash. Shalom to the hopeful and sincere elect. Hopefully the brothers was edified to say shalom.